theyeshiva.net.
Okay, so we're up to Kuf Chaf Amar Aleph. So we had a very interesting machloikus between Rava and Reb Acha, right? Rava and Reb Acha, the son of Yaakov. What was the machloikus? Rava told us that matzah bisman hazeh is the iraisa. Morer is only the rabbanon. His logic is straightforward. When the Torah speaks about morer, it's always in the context of the Korban Pesach. You eat the Korban Pesach with matzah and morer. There's no Pesach, there's no morer. The rabbis instituted a mitzvah to eat morer to commemorate the way things were in the time of the Beis HaMikdash. Granted. But matzah has a separate pasuk. Ba'erev toichlu matzahs. Without any strings attached to the Korban Pesach. So there's a separate mitzvah to eat matzah, whether you have a Korban Pesach or not. Morer, there's no separate pasuk, ba'erev toichlu morer, or you should just eat morer. Eat the Korban Pesach with morer. If I don't have a Korban Pesach, you never told me to eat morer. I can't make my own mitzvah and say God wants me to eat morer when there's no Korban Pesach. He doesn't. The rabbis have a right to institute a mitzvah, midirabbanan, not a mitzvah min Torah. Just like they made Chanukah candles, and they made Megillah, and they made Hallel, and they also made a mitzvah to eat morer or to drink 4 cups of wine. But it's not a doiraisa. That's Rava's shit. Reb Acha bar Yaakov disagrees. He says, no, Be'erev toichlu matzahs, you cannot use to teach you that you're allowed to, that you have to eat matzah bisman hazeh. Why? Because that pasuk you need for the time of the Beis HaMikdash. When somebody couldn't bring a Korban Pesach because he was tameh, or he was b'derech rechaika, meaning he was distant, or any circumstance, those are just examples, circumstances with a person beyond his control could not bring a Korban Pesach. So then, he has to eat matzah. How do you know he has to eat matzah? If the Torah wouldn't say Be'erev toichlu matzahs, I would say I don't have to eat matzah. It's nice. I mean, you can eat matzah. It's not an isser to eat matzah, but you don't have to eat matzah. You don't have a Korban Pesach. That's why it says Be'erev toichlu matzahs, referring to that Jew who can't eat the Korban Pesach. So Rabbi Acha says you can't use this for today's times. We need this pasuk for the time of the Beis HaMikdash. You're stretching it too much. Rava's response is, no, I know that already. Because the Torah says in Parshas boy, Kol Arvei lo yochal boy. Somebody who's uncircumcised can't eat boy, the Korban Pesach. Or somebody who's a ben necher. A ben necher means somebody that is like a stranger to God, a stranger to Torah, a stranger to Yiddishkeit. He's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. For example, a Jew who worships idolatry. So he alienates himself from the essence of Judaism. He's called a mumar, like a meshumad, a Jew who changes his identity. And many Rishonim say that it includes even a Jew who willingly violates many mitzvahs. In other words, he's just careless and reckless about Judaism, even if he doesn't transgress all the mitzvahs. He's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. So it says, or somebody who didn't have a bris. And again, there's a machlokes say, Rabbi Tam holds it's only if you didn't have a bris willingly. If you didn't have a bris because of health reasons, then you're allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. That's the shit of Rabbi Tam. Shit of Rashi is not that way. If you didn't have a bris, even if you have a right for it, you still can't eat the Korban Pesach. Not that it's your fault. It's just you're not circumcised. That's an interesting argument. Rabbi Tam would hold that if somebody didn't have a bris because of health reasons, for example, their brothers died, so they don't have to give him a bris, then he's allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. So that's an argument how you define an orel. If you wanted to have a bris but you couldn't, are you considered an orel or not? And you're allowed to eat the Korban Pesach. But however you interpret it, the Torah says, Kol orel lo yochal boy. So Chazal learned from this, what's boy? Boy, don't eat it, but eat everything else. So I already know that an orel and a ben necher are mechuyev to eat matzah, matzah, even though there's no Korban Pesach. So Rava says, somebody who's tameh is not worse than a ben necher, is not worse than an orel. Just because I'm tameh, I'm not worse than somebody who didn't have a bris. If that person has to eat matzah, for sure I have to eat matzah. So if I don't need be'erev toichlu matzahs for the time of the Beis HaMikdash, because I already learned that from V'char al Chalboy. So what's be'erev toichlu matzahs for today? Rabbi Acha bar Yaakov disagrees. He says, why? You need both psukim. Tzrichi, you need both. You need kol arel lo yoichal boy, and you need be'erev teichel matzos. And as the Rashbam explains, what's the logic of Rabacha? That a tamei, in a way, has a disadvantage because he has a chance to catch up the next month. So he'll make a carbon next month and he'll eat matzah next month. But the arel, he can't eat the carbon Pesach next month either. And because he can't eat the carbon Pesach next month either, or the ben nechar, because he doesn't have tashlumin, so therefore, you could say they have to eat the matzah because they're not going to be able to make up the matzah. All they have is the matzah tonight. But you are going to be able to eat matzah in a month. So you'll eat matzah then. You'll have carbon, just like you'll bring the carbon Pesach then. You'll eat matzah then. They're not bringing a carbon Pesach then. So their only chance to do any mitzvahs tonight. So maybe them, the Torah says, they have to eat matzah. But you, the Tamei, don't have to. That's why you have Be'erev Teichlu Matzahs. To teach me that somebody who's Tamei has to eat matzah the night of Pesach, even though he can't touch the carbon Pesach. And therefore, Rabacha says, there's no proof for today's day, and therefore I maintain that matzah b'zman hazeh is derabbanon. Rava disagrees. Rava says there's no need for two psukim, and therefore be'erev teichlu matzahs is for b'zman hazeh, because you would already know that a tamei has to eat matzah from an orel. He does not agree with Rav Acha bar Yaakov's logic, and hence he holds that be'erev teichlu matzahs teaches me that matzah b'zman hazeh is a biblical commandment, even though morer is not a biblical commandment. And by the way, just to note this and refresh what the Gemara said on Daf Kuf Tesvav, that's the reason why the Seder becomes so complicated. We eat matzah, we eat morer, and then we make a sandwich. Why can't we decide? Make a sandwich, kill two birds with one stone. The answer, of course, is because, and this is very interesting, in the time of the Beis HaMikdash, Hillel used to eat it as a sandwich. That's it he did. He made a sandwich, Pesach, matzah, mar. It was basically a lafa, literally, because matzah, the Yemenites still make matzah like lafa, right? The West? Yeah. Soft matzah like pita, right? Thick matzah like lafa. That's what it looked like. In the lafa, Hillel took barbecued lamb chops, literally, put it in, together with romaine lettuce and chrein. Where do you have a better sandwich? Huh? You can't get better than that. People don't realize Korach was pretty geschmack.
They dip it into Chaim then too?
Why not? Of course. Sweet and sour sauce. Barbecue, sweet and sour. You have mori, you have charais. You can't get better, and this is a top chef. This is a renowned chef. You're getting excited just for me describing it. You see? Makim shemach shavta shel adam shamo nimtza.
Practice making the sandwich.
Huh?
Practice. Well, you know
Huh?
Instead of cake.
And an interesting thing, it says, Keinos Hillel b'zman shebei samigdash shoy Chaim Korach Pesach matzah mar shenemar al matzas u'meroirim yechluhu. The pasuk that's brought is from Pesach Sheni. It should have brought the pasuk from Pesach Rishon. He brings it from Pesach Sheni. So there's a verse from the Belzer Rav. He once said that the reason we bring from Pesach Sheni is because we're trying to intimate that maybe even this Pesach will be able to do the sandwich on Pesach Sheni. Because the Beis HaMikdash will be rebuilt. There's a shit you bring Pesach Sheni. In between, yeah. That's why when we say Keinos Hillel, we bring the pasuk from Pesach Sheni, that hopefully we'll also be able to make a sandwich this year, because if Mashiach comes between Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni, according to many opinions, you could bring the Pesach Sheni, even though by Pesach Rishon you weren't mechuyev, because there was no Beis HaMikdash. So now, when Hillel used to make that sandwich,
nobody else.
No, then they didn't say Keinos Hillel. Then they did it.
They did it, but everybody was.
No, because Hillel held that that's how you do the mitzvah, only as a sandwich. You can't do the mitzvah otherwise. That was his shit. The other chachamim, other sages held, no, you could do it separate also. You can eat the matzah, the Pesach, the matzah, and the maror together. Not together, but together in one meal. It's a question of how you learn the pasuk. The pasuk says, eat the Pesach with matzah and maror. What does with mean? Does with mean in the same meal? Or does with mean same bite? What does with mean? Eat matzah with Pesach. Does it mean with one bite? A sandwich? or it's the same meal. Hillel said it's one sandwich.
We're going to have 2 days from Mashiach.
Why? No, 1 day. Of course. 2 days, because in the diaspora they had to have 2 days because they didn't know when Rosh Chodesh was. But then they're going to know when Rosh Chodesh was. Minig Avosseinu B'Yadeinu. Yeah, but that's if you're in Chutz La'aretz, but after Mashiach comes going to be Kibbutz Galus, and I just saw you don't need 2 days. Okay, so now let's understand. Hillel has a sandwich and he eats, yeah? Here's the problem. Why don't we just make a sandwich of matzah and maror? The problem is, since Rava holds matzah is deraisa and maror is derabanan, if I make a sandwich of matzah and maror, I'm not going to be yotzei the mitzvah, because the maror is going to be mevatel, the taste of the matzah. Because since maror, in this man habayis, maror was a deraisa, matzah was a deraisa, you ate them as a sandwich, it's great. But today maror is derabanan. So if you make a sandwich of matzah and maror, the maror is diluting and altering the flavor of the matzah. You're not going to be mekayim the mitzvah. So we have to eat matzah separate from the maror. We can't mix the two, even according to Hillel. You want to be yotzei the mitzvah because the maror is a derabanan. So it's going to kill the. It's like you'll start putting ketchup and you'll put this and you'll put that. Torah said to eat matzah, not to eat maror, not to eat altered matzah. So we eat matzah. Okay. Then we also eat maror. Why do we eat maror? Okay. Because maror is a mitzvah d'Rabbanan. Okay. The Chaverim of Hillel held that you ate, they didn't eat a sandwich, they ate separate. So we eat the matzah, we eat the maror, but according to Hillel, you had to eat a sandwich. And maror is d'Rabbanan. So by eating maror on its own, you weren't yotzei the mitzvah because you have to have a sandwich. So we have a sandwich for the mitzvah of maror. So that's why we do everything. Because if you don't eat the maror with a sandwich, so then you're not mekayim the mitzvah of maror according to Hillel, because maror is the rabbanon, but it's zeichel l'mikdash. In the time of the Beis HaMikdash, they ate it as a sandwich. We can't eat the matzah with the maror because the maror is going to be mevatel the matzah because maror is the rabbanon, matzah is the deraisa. But according to so we do it separate. But according to Hillel, it had to be with a sandwich. So when you're doing maror today, zeichel l'mikdash, it has to be together with the matzah. So that's why we have Korach also. So Mela, the shita of Rava is that matzah b'zman hazeh is deraisa, maror is the rabbanon. Rabbi Acha holds that everything is only the rabbanon, even the matzah is the rabbanon. We're going to see now. Next piece. Okay, now I just wanted to read to you a Rambam, because it was a question that came up yesterday. I don't see a Rambam here, but I'll just bring it up here. Rambam Korban Pesach. Okay. I just want to say how the verdict of the Rambam Lahalach is in Hilchis Korban Pesach, Perik Hey. He says somebody who was tamei when they shechted the Korban Pesach, so you can't shecht on him, or he was distant, or any other oinus, or let's say he forgot, he slept through, whatever. Just people make mistakes. So you can always bring a second Korban Pesach, and you do it a month later. So what happens if willingly you didn't be makar the Korban Pesach on Pesach, on Erev Pesach? Like you asked, you weren't interested. I'm not interested. So the Rambam says, Harei a makar of b'sheni. If you do tshuva, you bring a Korban Pesach even on the second. So he paskins that even if it was amazed, in other words, it was b'rotzain. You willingly did not want to go. It's not like you got stuck on the road, you know. The plane got delayed and you never made it. You still are makar of a Pesach sheni. Good. I just wanted to bring that lahalacha to answer your question from yesterday. Take a look for a moment. In other words, even amazed, on oral, unless he has a bris. If he circumcises himself, then he can... No, the Rambam paskins that even amazed, you bring a Pesach Sheni. What? No, it says lachem. The Rambam says if you're amazed and you didn't bring a Pesach Rishon, you could bring a Pesach Sheni. That's what he paskins. Hilchas Korban Pesach Perikei. It's a blue sefer, a blue chumash. The lashon in Parshas Ba'aloischa is Ish ki yeh tamei lenefesh oy b'derech rechoika lachem oy l'doirei seichem. So there's one taich lachem means even if this was based on your consent. Lachem, like it was, you own it. You own it.
So this also works for a guy who's embarrassed after Pesach. He does, it's called post-Pesach Sheni. Same thing.
Take a look in Tosfos. Kol ben necher lo yoichel boy einay yoichel. You see? Kuf chaf amar aleph, the second to the last Tosfos. Kol ben necher lo yoichel boy einay yoichel. The Gemara brought a brisa that a ben necher shouldn't eat it. The Pesach he shouldn't eat. But what? But he can eat, he should eat matzah and maror. Boy is superfluous, it teaches you only the Pesach. It says, Ein lefarish boy einay chayev lechel. The boy can't mean that a ben necher is not obligated to eat the Korban Pesach. Lo yoichel boy means he doesn't have a mitzvah. The avadei chayev lechel, the chayev b'chol mitzvahs. He's a Jew. Of course he's supposed to eat the Korban Pesach. He's chayev in all the mitzvahs. He's a ben necher. He converted to another faith, or he worshipped idolatry. So do tshuva and eat the Korban Pesach. You can't say lo yoichel boy is a dispensation. You don't have to eat it. Of course you have to eat it. So what does it mean? It means he doesn't want to eat it. He doesn't want to eat it. So now, he doesn't want to eat the Korban Pesach. He doesn't want to bring it. Of course he has to. Lo yochel boy is not a dispensation. So what is it? He doesn't want to eat it. So why does the Torah have to say don't eat it? If he wants to, he has to. Elamai, he doesn't want to. So how do you have to say this? So you have to teach it that if he comes to a family meal and you want to give him a piece of the Korban Pesach, you can't give it to him until he does tshuva. Right? Until he does tshuva. That's how you have to teach it. In other words, he doesn't want to bring. If he wants to bring, so bring. Well, I don't mind if you bring, do tshuva and bring. So what's this kol b'neichel lo yochel boy? Don't eat it. Yeah, I don't want to eat it. If I would want to eat it, I would do tshuva and I would bring it. I don't want to eat it. The pshat is, you're not allowed to even feed it to him. Right? As part of a family meal. He's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach until he's ready to bring the Korban Pesach, do tshuva. Yeah, but here we're talking about a Jew. A non-Jew is not part of the Korban Pesach. Yeah, you don't give a non-Jew the Korban Pesach. Well, we have the story in the beginning of Pesachim with Rabbi Yehuda ben Pseira, huh? The tale, yeah, Safulei Ma'aliyah. The one who was bragging that he brings a Korban Pesach right in the beginning of the Gemara. So now, let's now ask a question. When it comes to matzah, what are you saying? He's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach, he's allowed to eat matzah. What, he wants to eat matzah? Or he doesn't want to eat matzah? If he wants to eat matzah, he's not interested. So what's the issue? So you're telling me, if he wants to eat a piece of matzah, you're allowed to let him eat matzah. You understand Tosfos' question? The Bais is saying, he's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach, but he has to eat matzah. He has to eat the Korban Pesach too, he just doesn't give a hoot. So why is he going to give a hoot about matzah? You're saying, by the way, you're a Meshumad, you're not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach, but matzah you have to eat. Suddenly, yeah, of course I'm going to eat matzah. The guy doesn't care. If he cares, he'll bring a Korban Pesach too, do tshuva. He doesn't care about Judaism. So suddenly he's going to listen to the brisa. I'm going to go eat matzah. Elamai, you're going to say, Hitaka doesn't care. But if you feed him the Pesach, you're not allowed to give it to him. So the brisa is saying, matzah you're allowed to give him. Why not? Matzah is a peskedusha. You're not allowed to give him matzah where he can't eat pita? A Meshumad can't eat pita? Why not? Comes to the house, eats pita. Like, what's going on? You understand the problem? The brisa says, he's not allowed to eat the Korban Pesach, but he has to eat matzah. He's allowed to eat matzah. But he has to eat matzah. He has to eat matzah? Of course he has to eat. He also has to eat the Korban Pesach. He's not interested. So he's not going to eat matzah either. So you're going to say, Pshat is you're allowed to give him matzah. You're allowed to. He doesn't want to. If he wants to, he'll do tshuva. He's not interested. But you're allowed to give him a piece of money. Why not? You need a brisa for that? Why not? Can I give him a candy? Can I give him a coffee? Yeah, you can give him whatever you want. You give him, Adarabba, give him extra more. So it's a very strange brisa. You're talking about a guy who doesn't care. So what are you telling me? He's mechuyev. He's mechuyev in everything. Mechuyev in Pesach. So Tosfos says, "V'nira lefarish the mighty be Yisrael mumer b'shas shchita." During the slaughtering, he was a mummer. A mummer means a Jew who converts his faith. He abandons the faith of Judaism, like he worships idolatry, like that. I was like, I'm a shuman. V'chazar v'asa tshuva. Erev Pesach in the afternoon, he decided. They took him to the mikveh. Or he saw Pesach is coming, he did tshuva. The Ka'amar says the Pasuk, Afal gav the Yisrael ma'al yu, he's a good Jew. He did tshuva. But Kivan shloi nimna lav b'shas shchita, since he didn't subscribe to the carbon Pesach during shchita, shuvei nei eichel boy. You can't eat it. We say every morning in the Mishnayos before Haidu, HaPesach einoi nechel ela limnuyav. Menuyav are subscribers. From the word minyan, like counted. We have to have a group while we slaughter, like we have a list. Okay, we're 10 people together. Since during the shchita you couldn't join him. First of all, he wasn't interested. He was a meshumah. An hour later, he says, "Oi, I want to do tshuva," but it's too late because now it's already after shchita Pesach. Pesach comes, he wants to eat. Even if somebody's going to give him, there's enough meat, but Pesach can only be eaten by menuyev, so he can't eat. Shuvei ne'echel bar. Aval oichelu b'matzo b'marer. That's the chiddush, that he could eat and should eat matzah and marer. He should eat the Pesach too. He would love to, but he can't. He's mechuyev, and we're talking about a Jew who did tshuva. So he's interested in the fact that he's mechuyev. So Pesach, you're saying he's mechuyev in Pesach also. He was, but now he has nothing to do. Too late. He missed the boat.
That's for anyone. It's not just for him.
That's for anyone. But this is a practical situation where a Jew is not eating the carbon Pesach, and he can't, because he was a mummer, but he's still mechuyev in matzah and marer. So you say, who cares if he's mechuyev? The guy doesn't care. That's the problem. The answer is now he does care.
Menuyev doesn't matter anymore for Pesach Sheni.
Right. Pesach Sheni is a different issue.
Right, but he wasn't.
He did shuvah, so now he wants to do Pesach Sheni. That's what the Rambam says. You're amazed, but you want to do Pesach Sheni. Yeah.
Even though he wasn't Menuyev.
Yeah. So sometimes you have a situation where there's a Jew, right? He lost the opportunity because of a terrible choice he made. He can't anymore be part of the Korban Pesach. He's sitting by the Seder, right? The natural feeling of a person may be, what's the point of me eating matzah and marer? It's worthless. It's a waste of time. I missed out on the action. Torah says, no. So one doesn't have to do with the other. You missed the Korban Pesach, you missed the Korban Pesach. Right now you have a mitzvah to eat matzah like any other Jew in the world. Do the mitzvah with the whole chiyus, with the whole life. Usually when something like this happens, you just give up. I missed the main action, so I'm going to eat matzah now? Well, I'm going to be a loser. Everybody's eating matzah with big sandwiches, and I'm going to eat a shtickle matzah like we eat. It's not going to look good. You know? So we say, no, it's disconnected. Yutaka made a mistake. We'll have to deal with that later, Pesach Sheni. But right now, there's a mitzvah of matzah, and one doesn't cancel out the other. You know, there's very often what happens is in life, things cancel out other things, and they shouldn't. It reminds me, Lahavdil, I once met a comedian, and we were both at an event, and he was doing comedy, and I was also doing comedy. And, so comedy is different than a speech. A speech, if it's boring, the worst thing that happens is everybody falls asleep, and that's it. Instead of sleeping at home, they sleep at the dinner for an hour till he finishes, and then they go home and they say Yeshakayach. But a comedian, if it doesn't go well, it's a disaster. You know what I mean? If you ever saw, he makes a joke and nobody laughs, and another one, and it's very embarrassing. So this particular comedian flopped. They didn't understand his humor. I thought he was funny, but nobody else did. And it wasn't sticking to the audience, and he was going joke after joke, and they were like looking at him like he's a mashugana, and it was pretty awful. Okay, he comes off stage, and we were together, I guess. So we were walking out. So I asked him. I saw that he was in a cheerful mood. So I was very impressed. So I asked him, "What's your mechanism that if you flop on stage, like usually, a lot of performers, they get depressed, they swear they're never going to do it again, and they go into hiding for 2.5 weeks or 2.5 years." I said, "What's your mechanism? I see you're full of life," and he's laughing, so he said, "I always think to myself, just because I failed on stage, doesn't mean I should fail off stage too." And it was a penetrating insight, Because what often happens is it's overdrafts. It's we take the energy from on stage and we bring it into everything else. Something happened there, so therefore the rest of the day is shot. He missed his Korban Pesach because of a very bad choice. It's all over. There's no Seder. It's a joke. No. You missed the Korban Pesach. On stage you failed. No. Now you're off stage. This is matzah. Eat matzah. It's a very powerful idea in life. Perfection is a killer. When you want everything to be perfect, it's a killer. Because nothing is perfect. And therefore, everything gets destroyed and undermined. I failed. Okay. And now I'm not going to fail. I'm going to eat matzah. Because I failed earlier, therefore I have to fail now. I also have to punish myself. We punish ourselves for failing. And that's a terrible mistake in life. I failed. Learn from it. Fix, make amends, grow. No, I have to punish myself and fail again. Then I have to punish myself double. Fail 4 times. And it becomes a very vicious cycle. So this is a very powerful idea, how Tosfos understands the Gemara. The Jew did tshuva. And what does it mean he did tshuva? He says, "Fafallen, I can't do the Korban Pesach. But the ashtikal matzah can I have." Yeah. Yep. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Sheva yipol tzaddik v'kam. Job, right?
I'm thinking of something else. I don't know if it fits in anywhere in Pesach.
Yeah.
I was in a shiloh about wine. Some Jews participated in Shul, I said, we're not observed. What is supposed to be? So,
Yeah.
my bargain was that if they are respectful towards Yiddishkeit, I think shouldn't bargain.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have that category.
You mean even if they moved the wine and it was not mavushal? Yeah. There's a big difference between a tinik shenishba and halacha and a mummer. A mummer is somebody who's intentionally and deliberately abandoning the faith. A tinik shenishba is literally like somebody who was abducted by the Gentiles and raised there. He doesn't know better. So today, most Jews could be defined as tinik shenishbu because they grew up that way. It's not like they had a good education and they went through the whole thing and they had choices and deliberately and conscientiously and willingly they're trying to reject it. Most of them don't know it.
The element here that somebody who does not know respects.
Right. He respects it. Yeah. Sag die Gemara weiter. Tanya kavasei de Rav. Kuf Chaf Amar Aleph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 lines from the bottom, Kuf Chaf Amar Aleph. Tanya kavasei de Rav. We learned a brayse that supports Rav about matzah bizman hazah. Okay. Now, this brayse we have to understand and pay attention because we're going to discover here a very important principle in Judaism. The brayse says, there's a pasuk in Parshas Arvei. Listen to this pasuk. If you have a Gemara with the psukim on the side, some of you have, I think, that Gemara, right? The psukim on the side, you'll see the whole pasuk. But in this case, actually, the Gemara quotes almost the whole pasuk. Sheishis yamim toichel matzos ubayoyim hashvi atzeres ladinoi alehecha loisasa malacha. A verse in Parshas Arvei. 6 days you shall eat matzahs. On the 7th day is Atzeres. Atzeres always means a day when you stop working, a day of gathering, a day when you abstain from working. Like Atzor in Hebrew is stop, right? Atzeres is a day when you abstain from working. Do not do any work. Okay. Now, when I read this pasuk, what does it tell me? Eat matzahs for 6 days. On the 7th day, don't eat matzah. On the 7th day, Atzeres L'Shem Elokach. Eat matzahs for 6 days, and on the 7th day, what does he say? Have a Yom Tov. Do I eat matzah on the 7th day? From this pasuk, what do you say? No? Right? He could have said Shivas Yamim Teichel Matzahs. He says 6 days eat matzahs. On the 7th day, celebrate as a holiday. And we know, not all the days at Chol HaMoed is not Atzeres L'Shem Elokach. Chol HaMoed, certain malachas are allowed. The 7th day is a special Yom Tov. Clearly, the obligation to eat matzah here is relegated for 6 days precisely, excluding the 7th day. Number one.
Since you cannot bake bread for 6 days, so most likely you have nothing else to do on once.
Okay. But what the Torah says about the 7th day is only Atzeres, not matzah. For 6 days it says Teichel Matzahs, right? It could have said Shivas Yamim Teichel Matzahs, and on the 7th day you also shouldn't work. But he doesn't say that. Eat matzah 6 days. The 7th day is out of the category of matzah and gets a new category and a new obligation. It doesn't say Teichel Matzahs for the 7th day. This means on the 7th day there's no obligation to eat matzah. Fine. From here we learn Mashvi Rishus. Just like on the 7th day of Pesach, eating matzah is voluntary. Af Sheishis Yomim Rishus. The other 6 days, it's also voluntary. Meaning, when the pasuk says Sheishis Yamim Teichel Matzahs, it doesn't mean you have to eat matzah. It means if you want to eat hamoitzi, if you want to eat bread, it has to be matzah. Can't be chametz. But if you want to eat vegetables, if you want to eat fruits, if you want to eat meat, or you want to fast, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to eat matzah. Okay? So it says, Sheishis Yom Teichel Matzahs means, don't eat chametz. If you want to eat bread, make sure it's matzah. But you don't have an obligation to eat matzah for the first 6 days of Pesach.
Say Shivas Yamim if that's how you type.
Well, good question. Just like the 7th day, you don't have to eat matzah. Clearly, it doesn't say you have to eat matzah the 7th day. This first 6 days also not. Frag de Breise, my timer. Why? Why are you saying this? Why are you doing this? It says, Sheishis Yamim Teichel Matzahs, Ubayoim Hashvi Atzeres. What do you just say? 6 days eat, 7 don't, unless you want. I mean, there's no prohibition to eat matzah on the 7th day. It doesn't say don't eat matzah on the 7th day, but you don't have to. Why do you have to give this awkward interpretation? Right? Now, we all know we do this lahalacha. On Chol HaMoed, do you have to wash and eat matzah? No. You could, but you don't have to. It says, Sheishis Yom Teichel Matzahs. What do you mean? Why is it this a mitzvah? The answer is because there's Breise. The Breise says it's voluntary. It's not an obligation. In parentheses, I just want to say something. What about washing for a Yom Tov meal? Shvi Shel Pesach is a Yom Tov meal. First day of Pesach is a Yom Tov meal. Isn't there a mitzvah to have? Right? So that's a very interesting question. In other words, from the Rashbam, it's mashma here that lahalacha, biblically, you don't have to eat bread on Yom Tov. You don't have to have bread on Yom Tov. You don't have to have matzah. So the first day by day you don't have to have. The 7th day you don't have to have. You can just eat meat, or you can just eat vegetables, or you can just eat whatever you want. That's what the Rashbam holds in the Gemara. However, lahalacha, most poskim hold that you have to have meals with bread on Yom Tov, by night and by day. Right? What does the Gemara mean, Rishus? The Gemara means you don't need real matzah. You don't need real matzah. You can have matzah ashira. You can have honey, all the wealthy matzah we spoke about. You don't need real matzah. You understand? The matzah that we speak about always, the lechem oini, the bread and the water, you don't need that. You could be yotzeh on other bread, as long as it's not chametz. Okay, I just wanted to say that in parentheses. So now is a question, why would the Braisa do this to us? So he says like this, Have dover shahaya bichlal v'yotza min haklal lelamed. Translate. This was something that was part of a klal and it left the klal to teach. Lo lalamad al atzma yotza, lalamad al klal kula yotza. Not to teach only for itself, but to teach for the entire klal. Every morning before Haidu, we say a piece. It's from the introduction to Torah's Koyanim. Rabbi Shmuel Leima b'shloishes timidus HaTorah and Nidreshes ban. Rabbi Shmuel says there are 13 methodologies, 13 methods that are used to explain and interpret Torah. Kal v'chayme, gzeir shava, binyanov. The 8th one of the 13 principles is what? You remember? Number 8. Klal prat, prat to klal, klal prat to klal, then klal shavrom, prat to klal. Kol dover shahoya b'chlal, v'yotza min haklal lelamed, loy lelamed al atzma yotza, lelamed al klal kula yotza. What in the world does that mean? Erased? So today you'll know. So by Shachris, from tomorrow, okay? This is an example. This classic situation is an example. What's the example? We have another pasuk in Parshas Boy. The pasuk says in Parshas Boy, and many of us say it every morning if you put it in a Tamas tefillin, or you say the Parshas of Parshas Boy, Shivas Yomim Toichal Matzos. Uvayoyim Ashvi Chag LaShem. 7 days you should eat matzahs. On the 7th day, make a holiday. Whoa. This is confusing. In Parshas Bo, you tell me eat matzah for 7 days. In Parshas Re'eh, you decide I should eat matzah for 6 days. What are you supposed to do with this? It's a very problematic issue. In Parshas Bo, Moshe tells me 7. In Parshas Re'eh, the same Moshe, speaking in the name of God, tells me 6. I got a big problem. And in both of them, he speaks about Shvi Shal Pesach. And the first time he says, Shiva Yomim Toichal Matzos, Ubayoyim HaShvi Chag LaShem. The second time he says, Sheishes Yomim Toichal Matzos, Ubayoyim HaShvi Atzeres LaShem Alekecha Leisasa Malacha. Really? So the second time around, you said, you know what, Shvi Shal Pesach, no matzah. Well, you told me yes, matzah. This is called Davar Shahoya B'chlal. What's a klal? A klal means like klal Yisrael, like a klal, a collective. The 7th day, we're calling Pesach a klal. The 7th day was once in the klal. In Parshas Boy, the 7th day was part of the 6 days. It was one umbrella. It said 7 days eat matzahs. So there was one collective rule for the whole unit of 7 days. Haya b'chlal. It used to be in the klal. V'yotzam in a klal. In Parshas Re'eh, Moshe extracted the 7th day from the klal. He said, Sheishes Yamim Toichal Matzos. The 7th now left. But you told me Shivas Yamim Toichal Matzos. So what are you doing to me? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You said 7, so that's a klal. Then you took one of them and you plucked it out of the garden and you said, sorry, number 7, you're dismissed. Machs me Meshiga. Kol davar shahaya b'chlal, v'yotza min haklal, loy lelamed al atzma yotza. It didn't come to teach you about yourself. Why? Because if it came to teach you about yourself, he would have never put you in the klal. He could have always said, Sheishes Yamim Toichal Matzos. Why put me in the klal and take me out and make me crazy? Don't tell me I'm part of the game and then take me out. You put me in and then you take me out. You know why? Because I'm supposed to be a paradigm for everybody else. You're not here to teach me about me. If you're just here to teach me about me, you didn't have to put me in and take me out. I'm just an example for the rest of the klal. I'm the guinea pig. Meaning that just like the 7th day, you don't have to eat matzah because you took me out of the klal. So why'd you put me in and take me out? Because I'm the paradigm for everybody else. That by them you also don't have to eat matzah. It says eat. It means don't eat chametz. If you want to eat bread, eat matzah. But you don't have to eat matzah. I don't have to eat matzah chalamayit. Verstehst? That's the idea. In other words, if the Torah wanted to tell me to eat matzah for 6 days, it should have said, eat matzah 6 days. It doesn't. It says eat matzah 7 days. So now I'm under the wrong impression. Then it tells me eat matzah for 6 days. So now you're contradicting yourself. You took out 7. Why'd you take out 7? Don't put him in and don't take him out. You're dealing here with Moshe and God. They knew what they're writing. So the answer is because 7 was part of the 6. So why'd you take out? Why'd you take it out? Leave it there. Oh, because it's not part of the 6. Because you don't have to eat matzah on the 7th. So why'd you put me in? You put me in and you take me out to teach me for everybody else that all the 6 days you don't have to eat matzah. If it would have said Shivas Yamim Teichel Matzahs, I would interpret it that you have to eat matzah 7 days. If it would have said Sheishas Yamim Teichel Matzahs, I would have said you have to eat matzah 6 days. Because it says 7 days you have to eat matzah. And then it says 6 days. So it was Bechlal, and then you took it out. Why'd you take it out? To become the paradigm for everybody else.
Except for it says eat matzah.
Besides the first night. Ba'erev, that's the first night, not the first day. First day you don't have to eat matzah. By the meals for Pesach, you don't have to eat matzah. Even if you hold you have to eat, you have to wash, but you can eat matzah ashira, la halacha. At least our minig is not to eat matzah ashira, but that's a chumrah. That's a minig later. But you can eat halachically matzah ashira. You toifus? That's the 8th principle in Chumash. This is how they interpreted text. You have this example many times. You have something is in the collective. A later verse makes a difference. So you're like, you put me in and then you change me? No. I was not excluded for myself. I was excluded to teach. I'm like the poster boy. What's the word? I'm the poster boy for everybody else. This has a lot of implications in life, by the way. Right? You know? Huh? What?
Sam. I can't think of it.
Huh?
I can't think of it.
In other words, if you're supposed to be different, don't put me in the cloud. Just make me different. Don't put me on the team and then throw me off the team. Huh?
It's kind of like Puerto Rico. It's part of the United States.
Someone gets thrown.
Puerto Rico, it's part of the United. Don't put me on the team and then throw me out of the team. Don't pick me. Don't invite me to your house and then throw me out of your house. What are you doing? Like, why would you do this to the 7th day? What's the thing is indict? Well, he's guilty. You put me in the team, then you throw me out the team. Because I'm really representing the team. I'm teaching the team something that they have to know.
In a roundabout way?
Yeah. Because you're not mechuyev to eat matzah the 6 days also. I'll give you one example. I saw this in the Sfas Emes, I think Parshas Monsey. He says, I'm using my own words. He says, Kol davar shaya b'chlal is the Jewish people. From the beginning of Bereshis to Lech Lecha, we are the Jewish people. They're part of civilization. V'yotzim min haklal. God plucks out Avram Avinu, Lech Lecha me'artzecha. Till then, it's just one civilization. All the stories are not about Jews. Adam, Noach, Cain, Hevel, Der Haflaga, right? Tower of Bavel. This is all, God is busy with all of humanity. From Lech Lecha, it's like, whoa, he forgot about everybody? I don't understand. Avram was born in 1948 from creation. Same year like Israel. A couple of years earlier. 2,000 years you're busy with the world. Suddenly you found a guy, Avram Avinu, and that's it. Torah takes a shift. It's like first Torah is busy with the whole cosmos, and then suddenly one man, Avram, Yitzchak. What happened? Interesting, no? 2,000 years. No. Avram. V'nivruchu v'cha. So Hashem says, Kol davar shahaya b'chlal. V'yatsa min haklal. Loi lelamed al atzma yatsa. Avram shouldn't think he's now just an isolated nation and go into a cocoon and lelamed al klal kula yatsa. You're here to redefine the whole world. You're here to redefine the whole klal. Powerful, huh? You're part of a klal. You're part of civilization. You were plucked. Not so that you could go run away. If you want me to run away, what are you putting me on a team? Don't create the world, just create Avram Avinu. You got to now go back and redefine the whole klal. The way I use this in healing, very powerful. There are people who were in communities or in homes or in families, and things happened to them that they could not stay there. So often they run away for the rest of their life. And I always tell them, there was a reason that you had to grow up in that place. You now got to go back and help them. In other words, don't look at the first half of your life as a mistake and a tragedy, and the rest of your life you run away from this crazy place. You had to leave, okay. But you have a mission. You know this place better than everybody else. Now go and redefine the other 6 days. It's a very powerful principle in life. In other words, if you don't want me in the team, don't put me there. You put me there because I'm part of them. So why do you take me away? Because I have to teach them. You have to put me with them because I'm part of them, but I'm not part of them. I had to teach them a new thing about themselves that they didn't know. This is very deep. You put me there, and then you take me out. So I'm there and I'm not there. I'm there because I'm part of them, but I'm not part of them because there's something different about me, and that difference I have to bring back to them. And that's the idea of chosenness. The Jewish people are chosen. People say, yeah, chosen, superiority complex. No. We were chosen to teach every person that he was chosen. That's what we were chosen for. We were chosen to teach every person that they're chosen for their mission. So this is the Braisa. You toifus? It's a rich idea. So now when you say in davening, Tover Shoy B'chlal Lotzim Menachlau, Machnish Zayap, Tover Menyanev, Tover Misayfe, Yiratzin Hoidu V'Hurachum Aleinu.
It's not even about this, about life.
It's about life, yeah. I'm saying every one of the principles, it's not just a principle in text. It's a principle in life. That's why it says in Zohar that the Yud Gimel Midas of the Rebbe Shmuel are connected Yud Gimel Midas Harachim. And the Shalah says that it's connected to 13 animamins, the 13 principles of faith. What's a joke? What Kal V'Chaim Gzeres Shavuot? But because there's a whole philosophy behind it. All of life works this way. We all start off as part of something big, and then you individuate, it's called, right? And you leave, and you want to say goodbye. No, don't say goodbye. You got to go back. It's easy to say goodbye. You know, Reb Tzaddik says at the end of L'Chadaydi, we turn around. Right? By Bayi B'Shalom, we turn around. Why? So Reb Tzaddik Chaim of Lublin says, some people, they feel the energy of Shabbos coming, and they run away. They run into Shabbos. He says, no, you got to turn around. You have to take everything with you. You can't just run into Shabbos. Turn around and take the whole week with you. Sometimes Balei Tshuva, who came back to Judaism, the natural instinct was completely go into the world of Judaism and say goodbye to everything. So why did God put you there? He could have planted you in New Square. Why did he plant you in San Francisco? You got to go back. I don't know if you have to go back to San Francisco, but don't deprive the world from your gift. You can help, you can inspire. Of an interesting thing, people often ask me, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, when boys in yeshiva asked him, should they go to college, he said they shouldn't go to college. But if there was a Baal Tshuva who was in the middle of a degree, a PhD in this, he usually never allowed them to stop. If they asked him, go back, finish your degree, go back to college. There were hundreds of people he told not, and hundreds of people he said dafkeya. They wanted not dafkeya. Because if you were planted in this environment and you have a skill for it and you already achieved a lot, God somehow wants you to be able to influence people in an environment that others who are more insulated can't. So you can't just ignore your whole background. Sometimes, I'm not talking about if it's a dangerous situation, you have to leave. But generally speaking, you have to use your gifts to inspire the environment from where you got those gifts. And that's an important idea in life.
If somebody wants a professional racehorse trainer.
Goodman.
Yeah.
And he asked the Rabbi and became through. Should I leave this life? Go back, because you can go in there, nobody else can go there. It's the closed society.
So the Rebbe told Goodman to remain a horse trainer.
Yes. And he gave the exact reason.
Yeah.
He gave it to rich people that nobody can reach.
Yeah. I once saw a video that this fellow Goodman with Alain Gebrit came by the Rebbe, and the Rebbe gave him $1 and said, "The Pferd sollen wissen, wo zu fahren und wie soll zu fahren." Imagine this. The horses should know how to go and where to go. It's also it's also the Pferd. There's also the Pferd in the Venek. The Nefesh Bahamas lecha Pferd. Okay, let's finish the last line here. So your teuf is the vart, moide de kevart. So that's how we know that the 6 days of Pesach, you don't have to eat matzah. It's voluntary. Mashvi rishus, cheches yom rishus. This is all the brayse. Yochel af laila rishon rishus. Oh, now you would think the first night of Pesach is also voluntary. I don't want to eat matzah. Talmud loymar al matzah sumerorim yochlu. Torah says no. The first night of Pesach, you eat the korban Pesach with matzah and morer. The special posuk that you have to eat matzah. But that's only for the first night. That's not part of the klal. The 7 days is one unit, and then you plucked out the 7th day, so it redefines the sheishes yomim. But the first night, that's not yomim. That's a special category, special mitzvah. Ein li ela bizman shebeis hamikdash kaim. The brayse continues. This is only when there's a beis hamikdash, so you're eating a korban pesach. It says al matzah sumerodim yechlu bizman shein beis hamikdash kayim enayin. When there's no beis hamikdash, how do you know? The brayse asks, Talmud loymar ba'erev toichlu matzahs hakosuf koiva choiva. The Torah established an obligation that on the night of Pesach you eat matzah, independent of the korban Pesach. Clearly a brayse that supports Rava's position that matzah bisman hazeh is not the Rabbanon, is the Iraisa, just like Rava said, not like Reb Acha by Jacobson. And that's why la halacha we embrace the opinion of Rava. That matzah bisman hazeh the Iraisa and mara the Rabbanon, because the Gemara brings a brayse to support him. Okay. Thank you. Gam atem ala brachas.
I always wondered why Torah has to do roundabout ways, but if you learn out life about it.
Of course, the roundabout ways of Torah are just the roundabout ways of life. You understand?
Why don't you just say straight?
Because life is not this. You ever saw life like this? Yeah.
The Chumash had taught all this. Could the Chumash had taught all this?
It would be straight, and you wouldn't even know it.
Or there must be some reason why the Chumash had to write it.
Of course, because it's a reflection. The Gemara says Torah is a blueprint of life. It's a blueprint of the world. You ever saw a life that goes like this? Haya b'chlal, yotzam and aklal. It's not. Life is winding, right? Look at your life. It was like this. You made a couple of akafas, yeah? Any life. How did you end up in this shear? It was like this. It's like this, right? That's how it is. You're in a klal, and then you're thrown out of the klal, and then you got to recalculate.
Things that happen to you.
It's always that way. That's how you wind up, yeah. And it's easy to detach and just say, goodbye, I don't know you anymore. No. It's not for yourself, it's for the klal. It's also a very rich idea about the balance between community and individuality. In other words, sometimes you got to find yourself. But don't find yourself and then detach from that which is precious. Sometimes people want to find themselves and they cut, every last cord of connections because I have to find myself. And you're not going to find yourself because you're going to, you come from somewhere. It's part of you. Like I can't cut relationships with I'm not going to speak to my mother, I'm going to speak to my father. It doesn't work that way. You have to make peace with them. You have to reconnect. You can't just, you're not being true to yourself ultimately because you're part of a klal. You weren't born, in a vacuum. So these are very important ideas. It's generally the Yud Gimel Midas, Klal, Prat, Klal is very, very, it's very loaded. It's not simple stuff. The whole idea of the world as a Klal, as a Prat, it's very interesting.
Comes back to Bishvili Nivra Island. You come back to give.
You come back to give. Bishvili Nivra Olam, there's something in me that the world needs. That's what Bishvili Nivra Olam means. As the birthday cake says it clearly. As the birthday cake says it so eloquently.
Can't cut that apart. You have to keep it back.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to the Nashim Tzidkanias. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Hatzlacha with everything.
This class is brought to you by theyeshiva.net. Please help us continue the classes. Make even a small contribution at www.theyeshiva.net/donate.